Hi, this is Keshav here. Welcome back. As part of Azure Data Factory video series, let's get started with next case study. Alright, in this video, let's see how do we load the data from relational data storages into non-relational data storages. Alright, let me read through the requirement. Here again, requirement is pretty simple. Load the data from sales lt.address table in Advanced Works database to address table in both Azure Table Storage as well as Cosmos DB database. So just here I am trying to load the data from the Advanced Works database to non-relational data storage. Those are Azure Table Storage as well as Cosmos DB database. As you all know that two data storages, right? Table storage as well as Cosmos DB, those fall under non-relational data storages. If you want to see the differences between relational data storages and non-relational data storages, please watch my previous video which I have done as part of Azure Data Engineer certification video series. Alright, I'll just paste that link in the description below. You can use it for your reference. Alright, so just to make one point here, relational data storage will have fixed schema, whereas non-relational data storage will not have fixed schema. Schema will be dynamic. What I mean to say, while creating a table in relational data storage, you will define the columns also, and the number of columns those you define while creating table, those columns are fixed. In case if you want to add any additional column, of course you can add by altering the table. Alright, whereas in NoSQL database, the new columns will be added dynamically on the fly. That we'll see in a few minutes. Alright, so let me take you guys into Azure portal and show you the tables those already I created both in Azure Cosmos DB as well as table storage. Alright, so I am into Azure Cosmos DB account. This is account which I created, that is KRDemo DB account. And if you go to Data Explorer, within that account you could see database. Within the database you could see the containers. Within the containers there will be items. I spoke about Cosmos DB architecture in my previous video. Just have a look into that in case if you want to know more about that. Alright, this is the database. And by the way, this Cosmos DB account is created with SQL API. So generally Cosmos DB account will support multiple APIs. That also I have done the video already. Please watch that video to get better understanding on different types of APIs being supported by Cosmos DB account. Okay, alright. Now database, and within the database this is container. Container is equivalent to the table in our SQL database. Here the container called address which I created, and inside that items, but we don't have any items as of now. Alright, I am into container. On top there is option to open new query. Just click on new query, and by default it will be created like this. Select star from the container. So now if I execute this query, right, see currently we don't have any records in it. Generally data in Cosmos DB will be stored in the form of JSON, and whatever the records under Cosmos DB container, we call them as documents. Okay, documents are equivalent to rows in our SQL database. We don't have any documents now currently. Alright, let's see how we can have the data loaded through ADF pipeline. Alright, now let me take you guys into table storage as well. This is the account, storage account which I created, KRADLS. If you go all the way down here, you could see table storage. Under table storage there is a table called address which I already created. Let me go to Storage Explorer where you could see the complete structure of the table. Alright, tables, see address table. See currently this table is created with two default fields. Those are partition key and row key. There are no any other fields. Alright, now let's see how we can have those fields created and respect to data also loaded with Azure Data Factory pipeline. Alright, that's it. Now let me take you guys into Azure Data Factory. I already launched Azure Data Factory environment, and let's go ahead and create new pipeline. I'm going to create new pipeline here. I'm going to name it as SQL to NoSQL. Fine, and let me go ahead and use required activities. Here I'm going to use copy data activity because I'm not doing any sort of transformation, so I no need to go for data flow. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use 3 copy data activities because I wanted to show you, loading the data into table storage, Cosmos DB, and also SQL database all together in a single execution. Okay, so for that I added 3 copy data activities, and each copy data activity let me name separately so that it will be more clear for you guys. Okay, SQL to table storage, and let me name this as SQL to Cosmos. Fine, and this one SQL to SQL. So I don't want to connect them because I don't want to execute in sequence. There is no dependency. I can execute all of these activities parallelly, right? So I don't need to connect them. Fine, now let's go ahead and complete the settings for first activity. Source is, as I said, we are trying to load the data from AdvanceWorks database, right? So AdWorks is the source, and here source type I'm going to use query. I can go for table also, but I'm going to go for query. I'll tell you why I'm going to go for query. LT dot address, this is the table. Let me, fine, that's it. Now let's go ahead and complete sync settings. What is sync here? Here table storage, we are trying to load the data into table, that is address table in table storage. So let me go ahead and create dataset table storage, search for table storage. All right, say continue. It has created with the default name, that is Azure table 1. That's okay, but there is no link service added for that, right? So let me go ahead and edit and create new link service. Of course, if you have already existing link service, you can go ahead and use it. I have got already existing link service, but still let me show you how to create link service for that. It's the same like Azure SQL only. Storage 1, okay, and here integration runtime is default integration runtime, that is Azure integration runtime. Generally it is auto resolve integration runtime. So if you want to know the different types of integration runtimes, please watch my introduction video for ADF. Fine, then select the required subscription where is our table storage is created. Then select the account name, that is KRADLS, the account which I just shown you guys. Say create. Fine, under that storage we have got table called address, right? Let me select the table. Fine, that's it. Okay, if you come all the way down here, there are different options. Okay, mainly let me speak about partition key value selection. So I shown you there are 2 default fields created. One is partition key, other one is row key, right? So you can either you can go for default value for those columns, or if you want to specify any value, of course you can go for that. So I'm gonna go for partition key value as use sync column. If you don't use sync column, it will take default value. You know, I want to give my own value, right? So here under partition key value, select use sync column, but we don't have any column in our sync, right? So let me go for add dynamic content. Here under dynamic content, I want to create the partition for each year. So for that, what I'm gonna do, if you go all the way down here, you could see date function which will fetch current date. Under date functions, there is one function called UTC now that will fetch current date. So before going ahead, I want to extract year, right, from current date. So first let me add substring function through which I can extract only year. Under substring, let me add a date function here, UTC now. Okay, I don't want complete date as a partition value, right? So from there I want to extract year. So I want to start from position 0, I want to extract 4 digits. That's it. Say finish. Now the partition key value would be year. Alright, so I'm done. And row key value also, of course, you can specify, and let me go for default value, that is unique identifier. For each row there will be unique identifier will be created. Of course, if you want to select even the column from sync, that column value will be key value, but I don't want to go for that. I want to uniquely identify each row with a default unique identifier. Alright, fine, that's it. I'm not doing anything under mapping. That's it. Let's go ahead and complete settings for Cosmos DB as well. Source as usual, AdWorks, and let me go for query as a source. Select star from sales lt dot address. That's it. And sync. Now let's go ahead and complete our sync settings. I'm gonna create new data set. search for Cosmos. If you see here Cosmos DB, Cosmos account with Go API, you can select even Cosmos account with SQL API, but the account which we created is with SQL API, right? Let me go ahead and select Cosmos DB with SQL API. Of course, if you want to name it as Cosmos SQL, fine. And link service, we have got already existing link service. It's same like how we created for table storage, so let me use existing link service instead of wasting time again. Now it is asked to select the collection. Collection is the container. As I said, container is equivalent to table in SQL database. So let me go ahead and use the table which is already created, that is address table. Fine, say okay, that's it. We are done with Cosmos sync settings as well. Then now let's go ahead and complete settings for SQL to SQL as well. And our SQL source is same, AD works. Fine, let me go for select star from sales lt dot address. Fine, let's complete sync settings as well. I got already target DB dataset created. Let me go ahead and use it, and I can show you what table is used over there. Address table, that's it. This is our target table. Fine, let me go back to pipeline. So we are done with all settings. Now let me go ahead and debug our pipeline, and we'll see how data will be loaded in all three data storages. See here, if you observe down, all three copy data activities are parallelly queued. Alright, so all executed successfully. Now let's go ahead and validate the data. Alright, first let me take you guys into a table storage under care ADLS. If you go all the way down, there will be table storage here. Go to Storage Explorer. Under Storage Explorer, go to tables, click on address. Alright, see here, the partition key value is year from the current date, and the rest of the columns are created and data also been loaded. Alright, so in the same way, let's go ahead and check if data is loaded into our Cosmos DB database or not. I'm into Cosmos DB account, Data Explorer. Under Data Explorer, go to database, demo DB. Under demo DB, we have got address container. On the top, there is option new query. By default, there will be query created. Just execute that query, and if there are any documents loaded, yes, see here, data loaded into our Cosmos DB container as well. As I said, data will be stored in the form of JSON documents. Here each document is equivalent to row in our SQL database. Alright, see here, address ID, address line 1, line 2, city, state branch ID, country, region name, postal code, region, row GUID, modified date, and below there are default fields created. Let's not worry about those default fields now. Alright, in the same way, if you go and validate SQL database also, there will be data created. So that's okay. Let's go ahead and validate data in target DB database as well. Go to query here. When you try connecting to query editor, right, so it will ask you to pass ID and password. Let me pass my password. Fine, now let's go ahead and execute select statement, select star from address. Alright, so there is data loaded in address table as well. If you go all the way right, the last column is modified date, right? Alright, now just I wanted to show you the other thing. Let me go back to Azure Data Factory. So in a source query, I want to add one additional column here. Okay, so that would be year of modified date. Okay, fine, as year. The same I want to copy paste in other two sources as well. I'm trying to push one additional column and value also for that as year. Okay, let's see whether that additional column will be created in our all three data storages or not. Alright, so in the same way, let me paste in here as well. See, I am not doing any change in the mapping as well. Okay, I am not doing any change in the mapping. I am not adding that column in the table. Just change little bit in the query just to push one additional column. The value for that column is year. It will extract the year from modified date. That's it. So let me go ahead and debug. All the activities are queued now. All right, so all the data loads are done. The final one is pending, that is loading into SQL. Let's see, it will be loaded or if there is an issue. Okay, it is failed. What is the error? Let's see. So column mapping mismatch. Okay, I think that additional column, I think somewhere it is trying to map wrongly. In SQL always there will be fixed schema, it can't be changed dynamically. In case if you want to avoid this error, what we can do, we can go to mapping and remove that mapping for that column. So go to mapping, import schema. See, let's see what is happening here. All the existing columns, those are mapped properly, and see that additional column is ignored. That's okay, it is ignored, so there should not be any issue. Okay, let me go ahead and execute again. Let's see. I'm expecting it should be executed, but that additional column will not be there in our SQL table. Okay, all right, it is done now. I did nothing, just I went to mapping. I saw whether mapping is done properly or not. Yes, it is done. So now let's go ahead and validate other data storages. Now target DB, I am into target DB, so let me execute the query. Of course data would have been loaded, more number of records might have been appended, that's okay, and we'll see if there is additional column is added or not. Obviously it won't be added, as that column itself is not there in our target table. Mapping also was not done. Okay, so this is how it works. So as I said, right, the number of columns in our relational data store are always fixed. If you want to add additional column, you can go ahead and add by altering the table. Alright, let me take you guys into other data storages. Let's go to KR ADLS. Under KR ADLS we have got table storage. Go to table storage, go to storage explorer here, then let me go ahead and select address table. If you go all the way right, alright, see here there is one additional column is added, that is year, and that has got value as well. Okay, wherever nulls are there, those were existing records, we didn't have value for that column. Okay, previously this column was not there, obviously there will be null value loaded for those records under that column. Okay, so now let me take you guys into Azure Cosmos DB as well, whether we see that new column created or not. Go to Data Explorer, Cosmos DB, and Cosmos DB database, address container, new query, execute the query, and there were existing documents also, right? So in existing documents, see here we don't have year field created. Okay, so obviously there won't be year field for previous records. Now if I go all the way to end, I think there are many existing records. We don't see here as well, we don't see. Alright, so from here these are new records loaded. See, if you observe, along with those existing fields there is additional field created, that is year, and it has got respective value as well. Alright, so the purpose of this to execute twice is I wanted to show you how dynamically schema will be changed in NoSQL data storages. That was my aim to show. One time pure setup fields, the second time with additional fields. Okay, I hope this is clear for you guys. Thanks a lot for watching my video. Please do subscribe for more videos from my side on Azure and also on Power BI. Alright, we'll meet again with a different concept. Until then, bye bye.